Hello, welcome back, and I'll get right to it. This is going to be just on how to build the basics of this base, since I've had a lot of people asking. You'll be able to do whatever kind of customization you want. This is just going to be a very basic example, I think. So I'm just going to run through real quick and just give a brief little glimpse. I finally got this thing powered on, and it doesn't seem to work anymore. Okay. Oh, it would help if I had the generator on. That was dumb. I'm not even going to edit that out, because I don't know how. Yeah. So I let this thing run for a few minutes in the middle of the night because I was bored and hoping that something would come up here for me to kill, but no, all it did was annoy me. So anyway, here's the ground floor. Basic rectangle shape. Got the murder pit here. You don't have to use one if you don't want to. Workshop area. And really, this is about all you need. If you want to, you could throw down a bedroll or make a bed or something in here. I only have these vehicles in here just because I don't use them, really. They're just really bad on gas. If you play multiplayer, you can add another floor or two. I've got some bedrooms up here. You could actually put a wall here with a door in it, and then a wall here with a door in it, and make, this into two bedrooms. So then you'd have four on each floor. So that'd be two here, two there, and then two here and here. So you could actually, this is a 4 bedroom or apartment or whatever. You could actually turn it into 8 pretty easily. But I haven't even seen the other 3 people that I'm gaming with in quite a while. So I am choosing to believe it is still because Diablo dropped and they are busy with that. What is going on here? It's like a parade. Okay. I've never seen that, but why not? Okay. Anyway, I've got my walkway here. And then we've got roof access, all my water stuff and farms. Okay, so, and again, that's something you don't have to do. I would suggest doing something similar because I've just had bad luck with my farm plots and stuff getting beat up when they're outside. So, got my motion detector there. I just added this recently, so I could put a ramp there. I might not, I don't know. But I added this part as well with a motion detector. Whoa, too fast. Okay. I'm about to start drinking this coffee. So, let's go build a very, very basic version of this base. When you're looking for a place, I recommend doing it near a trader. Trader Jen is right across the street from me over there. You also want to make sure that you're not building your base in a place with any big holes or anything around it. Zombies can and will try to dig their way to you, and you can easily have a base collapse. Alright, I made... Oh lord, how many did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I made 5,000 5,000 blocks. Wow. I don't know why I did that, but okay. And how many blocks you're going to use is going to vary greatly. I'm just kind of doing this. I'm just giving you a number as a basic reference, I guess. But so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to have to figure out how many people you might be playing with regularly. It's not super important because these bases, I mean, it's nothing to add on to them down the line if you want. You can add floors or you can add width or length to the base. It's really easy. You just need to know the basic stuff, and then you can just add basic stuff further onto it later on. So let's jump into it. First things first. You're going to need your stuff at least 2 blocks high. Zombies can't jump that high, even if you can, if you end up hitting parkour. So you need to be at least 2 blocks off the ground. You can go higher if you want, if you like bigger heights for aesthetic reasons, or it just makes you feel safer or whatever. So if we're going to do at least 2 high, that means we're going to need, for your floor, we're going to need at least 3 blocks. No less than that, otherwise you'll have problems. What I personally do, and you could do this however you want, but I go let's do 3. So 1, 2, 3 empty spots. 1, 2, well, that's 4. All right, there we go. So we're spacing this out because when you first start, you're likely going to be a little bit short on resources. So, and if you want, you can try to shape the base into a square or a rectangle or whatever works best for you. I personally do a rectangle just because it's what I've always done. But yeah, that's not important at all. So, so we got 1, 2, 3 empty spots. 1, 2, 3, and sometimes it won't let you place something if you've got grass or a branch or something there. So 1, 2, what is going? There we go. 3. Let's do one more. Why not? 1, 2, 3. All right. Easy enough. We just do the floor. And this first one is going to be the center of our base. So we might as well go ahead and put those there. You're going to go to your shape. Find ramp in there. And you don't actually even have to do ramp, but you could just do ladders and stuff. But ramp, I like it. It's just a little bit more smooth. So I already got that favorited here. So ladder, and there's different styles of ladders too. It doesn't matter though. I just think that the round one looks better. And then you're gonna put, and this is just to give the zombies better access. And then you'll probably end up putting one here too. And then you'll do that on both sides. I would start off by filling in this one. These you don't have to fill in just yet because, like I said, at first resources are going to be kind of sparse. So okay, you'll need to figure out, this will make more sense as time goes on, and this goes a little bit further, but you need to figure out how much of a walkway you want for the zombies. It doesn't really matter. as far as the functionality of it goes. But if you're only going to be playing with, if it's just going to be you, or maybe just two or three or four people or whatever, you don't need anything like a super long walkway. In fact, there'll be times where you'll just be sitting in here waiting for a zombie to come up to you, taking its sweet time, and then you're getting bored, and you can't stab it all the way from over there, and so it's just shuffling its way, and then you just get pissed off and end up wasting your ammo on it. So, I mean, I'd say at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'd say do a minimum of 10. It doesn't even have to be that long. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here for a marker right now. And what we're going to do... Oh, you know what? Just for the sake of lining everything up, let's just throw it there. That's all nice and lined up. So we're going to space it out 1. Oh, I miscounted. Wow. 1, 2, 3. Space it out 1, 2, 3. And you can space it out however you want. You can go further if you have the resources and you've been, out there knocking down trees and stuff. Absolutely, you can, But eventually, it's going to be filled in anyway, so keep that in mind. So don't stress out about it too much. Ooh. One of the good things about using the building blocks is when you screw up, like I just did, easy to fix. Another good thing about the building blocks is you can upgrade them. So you'll upgrade them to wood, and then cobblestone, and then concrete, and then steel. And each time you upgrade, you'll get more XP. Unless, since 21 dropped, I don't know if they changed the XP system. Maybe if you create concrete blocks, you get how much XP you would have gotten if you would have upgraded it to that. But if that's the case, then that's news to me. So I, for now, will still suggest to use building blocks and then upgrade them as time goes on. So, still basic stuff here. 3 up, putting in our floor. That shouldn't be there. I did not claim to be smooth, so bear that in mind. Alright, we're going to need a doorway. I guess I should probably make this uniform. Otherwise it's going to bug me, so... There's a few different ways you could swing this. So this right here would just be very, very basic. If you just wanted it, to be nice and compact. I personally am not a big fan of that, so I'm going to do it this way. And instead of making just that one doorway, we'll push it out just a little bit. Okay. And you could actually leave these here. I haven't been. Just because I like access through bars. You can shoot through bars. You cannot melee through these bars, but you can shoot through them. So when you're placing these, it's important that you line it up how I'm showing you. You're not going to so much pay attention to where you're actually seeing the bars, but you're going to pay attention to where this big squares are, like the white square. So you're going to want that on the inside of this base. That way you know that the bars are on this side and not on the outside. I'll explain why in just a sec. You're going to come over here, and now you see that the square is one over closer to our side. That will allow us to basically build double bars. And you're going to want to reinforce those as soon as you can. Of course, I did not think to bring wood. Anyway, you're going to do that. Some people like to put a hatch here. I prefer the bars all across. But that way, during a blood moon or any other time, if something happens to punch its way through or break through your first set of bars, you've got your second set of bars. So the bars are going to be the first and most important thing that you upgrade. So even though in 21 getting to a crucible is actually fairly difficult, you know, if you have to, go to different traders and buy steel, or use a wrench or whatever and tear apart all the gas station pumps and vending machines that you can to get steel, because you're going to want to, these bars are going to be your main safety net. So if you want, you can build bars here and here. It's all going to depend on who or how many people you're playing with, and you're going to want to do a hatch here. So actually, I think I have to build a hatch. All right, well, we'll do that in a sec. We'll do that now. Okay. And then another thing here in the back for your access. Let's do a ladder. Zombies should not be able to jump this. That's why we went too high. And this is, you're going to put that ladder there assuming that this is as far as it's going to go. But, of course, if you decide later on to expand, that's not a problem. So you just do your expansions. If you've already upgraded the ladder, just destroy it and then put flooring in. And so, like I said, it's super easy to expand these bases. So, let's see. We got our hatch. I'll make 2 more just to... Go to advanced. Rotate. Okay, so that lines up nicely. That's inside, and I suppose you could do it on the other side too. I never really thought to do that, but you got to pay attention to which way the arrow's going. I always get this part mixed up. So let's point it down. Arrow's pointing down, and that opens upward. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. Actually, I think in my current base, I don't have any hatch here at all. I just have this part open. So, yeah, but if you want to, you could put a hatch here. That way you can just keep everything nice and locked up when you're not paying attention and off doing other stuff. Just this build right here alone, you know, providing that you can get everything upgraded to at least wood, should get you through the first couple of weeks for blood moons. You'll need a good melee weapon, because I doubt for the first couple weeks you're going to have a ton of ammunition. These are nice because if you got friends, they can sit here and help you out too. This is, I mean, yeah, this is just a very basic, simple thing. So to expand, you can go out as you know, as far as you want. You know, first, I mean, you'll want to put your land claim block around here so you can kind of see the borders and how far your base is going to be safe. An important thing that you're going to want to do too, and this is also going to depend on how big you make your base. So let's just expand this just a little bit more. And we will talk about support, but only a little bit because I actually don't know all the math on the support. There are people who have done this. I'm blanking out right now. Guns, Nerds, and Steel. Or Nerds, Guns, and Steel. I don't know. I'm so bad with names. I'll put a link to their channel in there. They're usually pretty good about putting numbers and stuff. And I think back an alpha or two ago, they had something where they actually showed the structural integrity and strength of blocks and stuff, so you can kind of figure out at least the bare minimum if you want to go for more of a minimalist approach on your supports. And if you're going to build anything more than just a one-room base, the supports will be important. So, oh yeah, see, like I said, we were going to expand there, so. And one more this way for the hell of it. And you don't have to even use this shape. A lot of people like to build circular, you know, fortress-looking things. You don't have to put this in the center. I just like uniformity. So, I mean, you could put this all the way at the edge of your base if you wanted to, and yeah, it's really up to you. The mechanics are going to work the same, and the basic mechanics are: we need that ramp. And then we need this little system here because they're going to try to get at you through this because they can occasionally dive through this hole. So if you did want to put up that third hatch, it might not be a terrible idea. Okay. When you're doing your walls over here, you're going to want to figure out if you want more doors or not. You absolutely don't need them. But if it's a really big base, you may want to consider having, you know, a couple of different entrances just for convenience sake. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3. See, that's not uniform. I missed something. That's going to drive me nuts now. I'm not ready for videos. All right, I got 4 spots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. Okay, that looks better. It's back to matching. And like I said, we're going to do the ladder over here too. And for good measure, why not? You won't really need this many rows, but I mean, if you're gonna up your zombie count for Blood Moon nights, it would be a little bit better because you don't want them swarming down there, waiting for each other to climb up. Because while they're waiting, they will start beating up your base. So keep that in mind. All right, let's see. We got the middle here. And like I said, this basic shape right here is, you don't need any of this other stuff actually. You just need this little platform right here. That'll get you through the first couple of weeks. You don't need a roof or anything really. Not at first. Afterwards, after a bit, you will, because the vultures or buzzards or whatever will start coming on blood moons, even in the forest area, so something to keep in mind. Okay, so we basically, you can see how this is going to look. I like it when the doors face flush with the outside, but it does not really matter, I don't think. Another reason that I would put a door facing flush with the outside is that if you were to put it like this, there is the off chance that one of those little spider zombies could jump up on there and actually have a chance to start beating up your door, because you can stand in this area. So okay, and then you'll also want to determine how much headroom you want. If you're going to do multiple floors and stuff, you know, if this just is going to be your main killing area, you don't really need much space. But if you only go too high, that's plenty enough to walk under, but you're not going to have room to jump or do too much. You'll still be able to put, if you wanted to, you could put forages and, you know, cooking areas and all that stuff with too high. I personally like to do too high on the first floor, just because I never use the first floor except for when it's, you know, time to come in and or out of the base, or while I'm killing stuff. So, okay, now one thing that you'll see on, that you've probably seen on my base, and this is absolutely not necessary, but you absolutely can do this if you like. And this will also probably be based on how far you decided to make this walkway. You do not want to do that there. Okay, so what we've done is expanded this a little bit, and here's where it goes to with what I was saying earlier about the multiplayer stuff. What do we need here? We need there we go. Pole double. That's what we're going to look for. This will be good for. Oh, hello. So, if people are going to be mostly using firearms, then you can put bars here if you want. Otherwise, with these, you can actually melee between them. You want to be careful not to actually hit them, but that's not too difficult to do. In fact, I think they even have smaller shapes that you can use. I mean, just yeah, play around with your options there. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, advanced. All right, there we go. And since we're going, oh, I hate that. Drones don't move. Come on. Okay. And since we're going too high for this floor, it's going to be the 2 rows there, and you can stab through them. But unlike the bars, you can't shoot the bars because it goes right through them. See, these you absolutely can shoot. So be mindful of that. And you can do it on one side or both side, whatever. And my walkway is probably nearly twice this length in my base, as is this area right here. So, but there's nothing wrong with keeping it compact. So, and you can always expand. I mean, even after you've reinforced stuff, if you want, you can come out here with an axe if this is wood, or a pickaxe if it's some sort of stone, and you can tear down this ramp and the ladders, and you can expand. It is not difficult. Alright, so we've got our basic little setup here, and you can do it on the other side if you want, or not. It doesn't really make a huge difference. Like I said, I prefer the uniformity aspect of it, so I would. But for this example, just to save some time. So I'm surprised that it actually let me do this, because I could have sworn that the maximum used to be 5 blocks before things would start collapsing, but I'm not positive. Either way, I wouldn't put a ton of stuff above it, because the weight eventually will matter. So, one thing that I like to do before I start building ceilings and stuff, I mean, and like I said, if this is just going to be a 1-floor base, then you don't even have to worry about it. Unless you're going to be putting stuff on the roof, I guess. But so what I would do is, and this is just me, I mean, you can look at the videos that I'm going to link, if I can find somebody who actually goes over this in 21. Otherwise, the same physics might apply from 20. But there are plenty of videos of people showing exactly how far you can go with all the different block types and stuff. So, but just to be safe, I just do it every 3 or 4. You could probably do it every 5 or 6, honestly. So, just to keep this matching, we've got 3 here, and that was just kind of by coincidence. So we'll do 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3 spaces. Okay, I'm glad that matched up, because I would have had to add a whole nother row down here. I wouldn't have had to, but I would have, just because I need everything to be lined up and matched. It's not good. Okay. So, all right, so let's just say that these are going to be our main supports, and you won't need them at all like this close apart. I mean, I actually would suggest going 4 or 5 spaces in between them, but just for the purposes of this example. So our roof is going to be too high. We've already established that. Make your supports 3 high right off the bat. That way when you start to work on your second floor, there will not be any confusion as to where your supports are. Otherwise, you'll be having to run up and down stairs or ladders or whatever you decide to put in there. I will also count this as a support. Mostly because, I mean, you don't really have to count any of the outside wall stuff as support, because outside walls are outside walls. They're going to be strong no matter what. But right here, there's always the possibility that since we already have all this built, if you wanted to, you could come out and build flooring across this top part. If you wanted to make the most use of your space. You don't have to do it that way, but you certainly can. So we're going to count these as supports. A second floor. Otherwise, you're not going to need this. If there's going to be a second floor, let's go ahead and pull a block or two out, wherever you like. You don't even have to have two. I just, like I said, uniformity. Back to the favorite shapes, ladders. Okay, and then, like I said, you'll have the, if you want, you can put the same thing over on that side. Easy peasy. We've got our main support pillars here. And then, if you decide to go ahead and build another floor, whoops, you'll do the same thing all over again, which I'm not going to go all the way through, but let's say this time you want to, you know, have one more space for some extra headroom. I think that looks better anyway. And you get, you know, a little bit more room. It doesn't feel as claustrophobic. So for this, you'd want it to go, you know, 3 high. Make the roof the 4th high, 4 blocks high. And then I like big windows. If you remember seeing that in my base. Oops. You can, you know, however you want. But if you're doing windows, what I would suggest doing is, since we have our supports here, lining everything up with them. And you don't have to keep going high like this, but again, if you're going to say you want to do a 3rd floor, go ahead and do this so you can mark your support columns. And one of the reasons you're going to want to do that is, like I said, so you're not having to run up and down trying to figure out, you know, where your main support is. And also, if you can, you want to try to upgrade these first, just to get everything nice and stable. So, just keep everything lined up with your main supports. And so on. And then you can also, if you choose to, make this entire floor go over that rampway. In my base, if you've noticed, we've got sort of a murder pit so that we can actually see that rampway. Yeah, about right there. Yeah. So, we've got bars. And the same principle will apply here that we did down there. We're going to do advanced. All right, and if we're paying attention to the block there, you can see that the cube is showing not on my level, but on one level down, which is what we want. And the reason for that is the same as before. Now we can come up a block, and you can make this crisscross, or you can make it line up. It doesn't really matter. Whatever. I like it so it matches. It just looks. It's just easier to see through, I think. So we did down there before, and now our cube is up here, and we've got our double bars. And when you upgrade, be sure to upgrade both sides. And that's just in case, because you will get cops spitting and demolishers exploding and stuff. So double layers are good. And actually, on that note, probably a final note here. I personally prefer to make my floor, between the first floor and the second floor, I like to make it 2 blocks thick, because there's just going to be so much stuff going on that if you place, say you put like a forge or something here, and then you get a bunch of cops spitting up into your base, and it destroys that block, well, your forge is going to drop. You're going to lose whatever you have here, whether it's a bedroll or a forge or storage containers, whatever. So it's not necessary, as long as you stay on top of repairs, but I do prefer to make my floor 2 blocks thick. And that's just between the first and second floor. The other higher floors, they're only going to be 1 thick. So if you do it this way, just keep that in mind, because you're actually going to have to make this all higher by 1 as well. Because this is going to be floor. And, another thing I suppose that you could do, and just ignore everything I just said about doing the second floor. This just dawned on me. I wonder if this would work. Huh. Well, poop. I guess I didn't need to do 2 blocks. I mean, this is still technically taking up 2 blocks, but like it's not going to let you put anything up here at this point. So if you decide to use these plates, you're not going to be able to use anything that uses 2 vertical blocks. So probably not like a refrigerator. I don't think you can put a forge in here if it's only taking. Let's see. Yeah, you could not put a forge here because a forge needs 2 full blocks, and this plate is still counting as taking up a block. But you don't have to build a whole second layer up there, so I could have saved myself a whole bunch of time. Oh, I'm still learning stuff, I guess. The cool thing about the 2-floor system is you don't have to pay as much attention to the maintenance, because you'll know when something's damaged, like something will be missing, and it'll be easier to spot once you have upgraded materials. It'll be a lot easier to see. So, in a situation like this, you would just come here and repair the block that's damaged and replace the plate, or the other block if you do the 2-block flooring. When you upgrade, you'll upgrade all your plates that you just put in there. And that's not going to go through to the blocks, though, because they're 2 separate things. You got your blocks and your plates, so you're going to also upgrade these blocks. So plates and then blocks. But this is the very basic idea, and even this is just huge. You don't have to go anywhere near this big. Yeah, now that we have the plates, I can't believe I didn't think about doing that much sooner. Anyway, that's all you need to know for the basics. I would throw a door right here. Yeah. One more thing, I guess, is if you're wondering why this might look different than my base, over there, you can see the... oh, that's weird. Okay, well, it shouldn't look like that, but my entire the base of my base is all solid and filled in. It looks weird from here, though. But so as you upgrade all this stuff, and the first things you're going to upgrade are those bars. That's always number one. Upgrade your bars, then upgrade all your ground floor stuff, then upgrade your main supports that we talked about. Those are the 3 things you want to upgrade first. As you get all the stuff upgraded, at least to wood, then you're going to start filling this in. Because zombies will come through in here and they'll start hitting stuff. And after each Horde night, you're going to have to come through and replace a lot of this stuff. So, as you get more materials and stuff, you're going to come through here. And I would do this, you know, however you want, really, but try to keep it so that you can still move around in here and not like trap yourself out or anything. You don't want to leave anything hollow, is what I'm getting at. So, and then you would upgrade, which that's all the wood I have here, but upgrade all this. And let's just say you did upgrade all this. Okay, great. Upgrade those, upgrade those, upgrade those, and so on until you fill this all in. And you only need to upgrade them just to the wood on the inside. All this other stuff, yeah, eventually you're going to want to get to concrete, if not steel. But in the meantime, wood is okay. And then, once you do have it all filled in, like say you have concrete and then they bust through it, that's okay. Like say you have your wood there. So this won't be just the building block, this will actually be like a reinforced wood. And say this is all concrete. and then they break through your concrete. Well, that's okay. Now this is further on in the game. You have better access to resources. So you can upgrade this completely right here. And then put a new block in and then upgrade it. So basically, anything that you have access to because of zombie damage. So they knock something else out here. You're just going to upgrade this, make it stronger than it was before. It might not be necessary, but you know, it's like filling in a cavity. You want it to be stronger than before, I guess. So maybe that's how it works. I could be wrong, but that's one of the first things you're going to work on is filling this all in, upgrading it to reinforced wood, and then eventually just doing the outside upgrades. So just to recap that one last time, you're going to fill those in, reinforce them all. This is going to be number 1 for reinforcements. Here's your bars, and stay on top of the repairs. So bars, the base of the base, the foundation, that's the word. Bars, foundation, and then supports. And that's your basic Horde Night base in a nutshell. So to do one little last comparison, and this might help put some things into perspective. Ooh, we got a screamer. Okay. So, my base started off exactly as you just saw. I've got the longer walkway, and instead of just the one thing here, I've got the two. I added this in later on. This is kind of neat because they cannot walk on these frames. You can, but they cannot. So make sure that you keep that closed. I added this later on. I had to break all this stuff out. Added this later on. Added my panic room, emergency backup room, whatever you want to call it, for when things get really bad, like if you get some demolishers or something and you get super unlucky and they actually get through both sets of these bars, which they shouldn't. Like, especially one thing to keep in mind on Horde Night is to keep some steel bars or whatever you have, whatever repair materials that you need, and just repair these, you know, every couple of minutes so that nobody can get through. But if they do get through, I can just hop out and I've got one more layer of protection here. So, well, technically two. I got the double bars. So, but yeah, keep these open until Horde Night, then close one of them just in case I have to dip out. Close the other one, and then you're good. The railing, I did that on everything, and that was just because I liked it. And for some reason, I can't see the base that we just built. Okay. You can add railing if you want. You can make a garage. You can do none of this stuff. You know, this is all just how I did it. You can do however you like. But you can see the stuff that we just did and the architecture. You can see the stuff that we just did in the previous base. See, I've got the ladder going up on my main supports here. And I've got a main supports here, main support here. I've got my windows lined up with my supports. I don't know. I don't know if that actually does anything for the structural integrity, but I think it looks better when everything's lined up. I've probably said that about 20 times by now. Instead of one row, I did 3 rows here, just because I like having the space, and yeah, I just think it looks kind of cool. Added some blocks up here too. That way, like hop spit and stuff, it's less likely to go further into the base. You know, it'll hit these walls and maybe up here. But that doesn't happen too often, so yeah, that's the basics of it. You can go as high or as basic as you want. If you put stuff on the roof, I would recommend doing a whole cage thing, because you will get those buzzards on Horde Night, and you don't want them smashing up your, especially your solar stuff, because that is ridiculously hard to come by. I mean, I've only got the one solar cell, and it's day 55. I've only seen one other one, and I couldn't afford to get it at the time. It was early game, so I don't know what is going on. I've like every trader refresh day, I go to like 5 or 6 different traders, and they never have the solar cells. And I've even got the let's see, what was it? Yeah, Daring Adventurer. So you're supposed to have access to their better loot, but yeah, I don't think that this one matters. But yeah, the Daring Adventurer one, it says that it's supposed to give you better trader items, and yeah, I cannot find solar cells. Anyway, that's something you can worry about much later down the road. Right now, you're just worried about building your basic base. One more reason to love the murder pit.